I don't know about you, but I really struggled in the past with a negative co-worker. It used to drive me insane with the negativity, and often I would walk in the room and they would start, and it would just, I could feel my body just drain of energy. And you can't keep working like that. Something's got to change, or something will give, and we don't really want that to be us, do we? So I've got 3 tips on how to manage that, to try to not allow that state to permeate into your body as well. So just set it up. This co-worker worked, we had open plan office, and their desk was right in front of mine, and would often turn around and it would be talking about the doom and gloom of the clients that we worked with, and would discuss these clients with me about how hard it was and nothing's ever changing, and he's feels like giving up on those clients, and would ask for my advice or opinions on stuff. I'd make suggestions, but they would never follow through and utilize any of those strategies, and just moan more next time we discuss that person, that client. So how did I manage that? So once I finally, got to the point and realized that what was going on and how it was affecting my mood, and that I could change it. So how I did that, so the first tip was redirecting the conversation. So as soon as they would start going down that negative track, I would try some distraction techniques and would talk about, how was your weekend? What did you do? And often that was doom and gloom for them as well. And so I would, talk about where we're going to go for lunch, things like that, just to change the topic and get out of that negative funk that they were in around that client that they obviously were feeling really stuck with. So the second one would be, if we were talking about that client, I would try to find the positives in that conversation of, listening to his negative stuff, but then I would ask questions to draw out some of the positive things that, they might only be small, but they're still positive, so they could see that there had been some changes in that. And by doing that, that also would give them a little bit of a lift and change their mood, which changed the mood of the whole office. And then third, I would reframe the negative. So when they're talking about, just trying to think of something in particular about how, much, the client was, not trying and they're never going to change, and like it was hopeless. So I would reframe that situation by talking about, have you thought about looking about where has the client come from? What was their past like? And how did that shape where they were focused on their current life's issues? And, by knowing where they've come from, it also helps you to reframe and look at different ways to manage that situation, instead of just both of you being like the client and that worker being stuck. So reframing, coming from a different perspective and looking at things like that could make a huge difference, which also help shift them a little bit at times. But overall, they were burnt out and needed to take some time off and really deal with the burnout, because doing the same old every day was just making it worse. So it was more they needed to take responsibility for their own health, and that wasn't happening. But they were my ways of managing my state around that person, because Someone who's burnt out and still in there and very cynical and negative can really drag down the whole mood of the office. So they were my 3 tips of how to manage that situation. So just to recap, so it's 1 is redirecting the conversation. 2 is to focus on the positives of the situation. And 3 is to reframe the negative and coming from a different perspective. So go and try those and see if that makes a bit of a difference. Okay, and remember to live your best life.